Hey, old school gamers. Welcome back to Grumpy Old GMs, where we work to bring you your inner greatest GM outside across the screen, whether it's a computer screen or whether it's a screen, physical screen, and an actual gaming table that you roll your dice behind, or keep DM notes behind or GM notes behind. We want to get your inner greatest GM out and across the screen to your players. Today we're doing another little announcement for an adjustment that we're making for people who actually game with me at grumpyoldgms.com using my GM profile at the website startplaying.games. A couple videos ago, I mentioned how we added a crafting and lore mastery system to what we do. And today we've got something that kind of goes along with that. And just last night, it's only been a couple of days, just last night there was a player who skinned a giant ferret, a 4-foot ferret. I'm not sure they grow to 4 feet in real life, so this was definitely a D&D thing, giant ferret. But skinned a giant ferret. I asked them as the DM, I was asking if they were officially, going to put their character in for the Tanners and Furriers Guild. And they said absolutely. So when we get the auction houses up and running here soon, if you're in the market for some giant ferret fur or a giant ferret pelt, there might be one. Now, as to where we're going to post that stuff, well, that leads us into what we're doing today. So a few days ago, met a gentleman who recently started gaming with us on Sundays, and he mentioned that the reason that he wanted to explore gaming with me once he found my profile on the website startplaying.games was that he noticed that my campaign is started in 1987. So this is 2023. Campaign started in 1987. Now I've been gaming since 1982, but the continuity of this campaign has been going since 1987. But he mentioned he asked for some kind of resource or something, I guess something to read or something to just plug into or feel, a way to connect with all of that history and I guess all of the grandeur and everything. And it's a little too late since I don't have a time machine and I don't have time travel powers, it's a little bit too late to go back and tell my 16-year-old self to start keeping better notes or something, or start, publishing a book, or start keeping a notebook or a journal or something like that. But we have resources now. So today I'd like to introduce our campaign's Obsidian Portal. It just started yesterday. And our Obsidian Portal is going to be keeping track every day, and we are up to 8 tables now. So there are more tables per week than there are days per week now. So there's lots of you out there that are adventuring across the Dungeons and Dragons, Pathfinder, Old School Essentials, whatever rule set your table likes to use, multiverse. I think most of you are using 5e, but there's a few people that do other things. On Wednesday night, we have a group using Old School Essentials as their rule set. But if, and the thing is, if you're using different rule sets at your tables, that's fine. Somebody at the Old School Essentials rule set table could buy that giant ferret pelt off of from a group that was using the 5e rule set table. It's really all the same game. It really is. It's just whatever rule set you like to use when you're actually adventuring. So basically, we are going to add a little bit more every day to the Obsidian Portal, and we're going to use the forums on Obsidian Portal to run our auction houses for the crafting and lore mastering. So that's really, really exciting. There's one clunky thing about the Obsidian Portal. I think we can work around it, but I just kind of need to mention it. I've been kind of telling people about it all day and yesterday since we got started, is that Obsidian Portal, I remember when it came out, and it came out in the 2000s before we got to the 20-teens. And, as a gamer, I just noticed that because, being a gamer on the internet, you notice new things that come out for gaming. And so in the 2000s, before we got to the 20-teens, the world was not so cell phone-ified. The world was not so, like it is now. Like it used to be for things like Facebook and Amazon, you'd create an account with an email. These days, if you were going to start a totally brand new account today in 2023, you'd create an account with an email or a phone number. And as a nerd and a geek who pays attention to technology and computers and stuff that's going on in our lives, several years ago now, it's been since a lot of people don't even have emails. They just use their phone number and maybe their Google account if it's an Android phone. but they just base their lives around their phone. And a lot of people feel that email is too slow and clunky. Like, wow, email's too slow and clunky. And that according to some of the information I was reading a few years ago when this started becoming a trend, that the reason that most people even have an email is because it's required for their job, if they have some kind of corporate job or something. So Obsidian Portal came out in the 2000s before we got to the 20 teens. And so they don't have a phone app, at least not one I've been able to find. And you make an address with an email account. And as the DM, I have to personally invite everybody with by an email account. So what people have been doing is they've been direct messaging me on Discord so that they don't put their email address out there in the public chat. But if you send me your email address, and if you're not comfortable with it being in public chat, because I wouldn't be, then just direct message me, and I will make sure that, pretty soon, if I'm not sleeping or having a meal or spending time with my family, that you get your invitation to join the Obsidian Portal so that you can start looking at the forum crafting houses. You can start putting your character information in there, and you can read our wiki blog about the crazy things that are happening in places like Mystara, Dark Sun, and the Nameless Realms, and other places that people around here adventure. So that's kind of exciting. So that's a little bit of housekeeping for our immediate gaming community that games together online 8 times a week now. And then things have restabilized after spring break. So I mentioned a few videos ago about how things shake up in the pro jamming business around spring break, Christmas break, and then when summer first starts, and then when summer is first over and people go back to school. So there's a kind of a connection there as well. But tomorrow we'll get back more to the coaching, mentoring, advice type content on GMing. And if you like that content, there is a Patreon down below where it can be personalized, where I will call you by phone or Discord, have other coaches that I know around here call you, because sometimes the best teacher is more than one teacher. If you're looking for open seats, I think about half of our games are full right now, but we have some seats. The schedule is at grumpyoldgms.com, or just look for our Discord down below. We've got a Twitter down there. Of course, the Obsidian Portal is down there these days. So there's all kinds of ways to get hold of us down below. In the meantime, I'll see you around the gaming table.